Myles on BBC Radio Wales.
Good morning, Eve Myles with you on BBC Radio Wales this Sunday morning. Conversation and music right through until 11 o'clock. On the show this week, comedian Dan Thomas and internet woman Samantha Ellis on the week's weirdest news stories. Live music from Ela Hughes and Mother's Day food, the Italian way with Michela Chiapa. There's Mamma Mia for you, my daughter's favourites. They're probably dancing around the kitchen as we speak. So you're listening to Radio Wales, and happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. I hope you are getting spoilt rotten. I'm Eve Myles, and on the show this week, why being forgetful isn't stupid, and what you can swipe from a hotel room without feeling guilty. Now then, my guests this week are internet personality Samantha Ellis and comedian Dan Thomas. Hello guys, how's your week been? Morning. Thank you for joining me on my very first show. My newbie. A little bit nervous.
You're doing great. You're doing great,
We'll break you in. Thank you so much. It's the gin. How's your week been? I've also got lovely Ella. Hi, darling Ela Hughes. So I'd like to know what you've been up to this week. Anything interesting?
Well, we have had cold weather the last week, so I have managed to break out my unicorn onesie, which has been fabulous.
Oh
it's amazing because it's so warm. I've never had a use for it before,
yes.
But I trekked to the co-op to get wine, obviously,
extraordinary,
because that was the essential item I needed, and I wore it, and then I got papped as well by a student newspaper. Still counts. But yeah, so I was featured in their frozen fashion feature, so I'm loving it. I'm loving life at the moment.
Where do you get a unicorn onesie?
That was going to be my question. Thanks that you brought that up.
From Tesco.
Really?
Yeah. You get one to fit you as well, Dan.
I don't need another
extra
one.
Large.
I was just going to say, because Dan is a giant.
Yeah, and I already have
giant
three
unicorn.
So snap, that's what I've been doing this week.
You already have 3 unicorn onesies.
I have 3 unicorn onesies, and that was my week also.
Does it have a horn?
It does, yes.
Does it?
Yeah, a hood, yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
The whole package, yeah. I was actually a unicorn.
What have you been up to, Dan?
I've been travelling around dressed as a unicorn, which didn't go down great in my stag town hall last Thursday night.
Really?
But I just
thought it was the done thing there.
So did I. I was misinformed,
right.
but I did
Wrong
the show
night.
and they didn't complain too much.
Lovely.
I had a lovely time there.
Oh, that's nice. So Ela Hughes, beautiful Ela Hughes, who's a singer and is going to be singing live for us today, which is amazing. What have you been up to this week, my darling?
So I actually went to Amsterdam.
I'm sorry, babe. That's just
how many unicorns did you
that's
see?
just rained all over the unicorn story.
Sorry,
You've been to
guys.
Amsterdam?
Yeah, I've been to Amsterdam.
Tell us a
People
bit about it.
ice skating on the river, which is absolutely mental. But nobody dressed as unicorns. And I've also been to the Lake District, so I've had a bit of time off. It's been lovely.
Well, I feel a bit sorry that I've asked you now. You've made my life look absolutely boring. Right, so I'm going to play a little bit of music for you now. This is Casey and the Sunshine Band. Enjoy, everybody. Eve Myles with you on BBC Radio Wales, and happy Mother's Day. Some weird news from the last week now, and cleanliness is next to godliness apparently, but it can also spell the end of a relationship. Now, Dan, please tell us a bit more about this.
Yeah, this story is about the biggest relationship deal breakers revealed in his new study. YouGov asked British men and women what traits would bother them the most in partners, and it turns out that it's a disparity in levels of cleanliness is the top story and is the ultimate deal breaker. There's a list of 30 attributes, including differences in, let's say, desires and things like that, and sophistication and intelligence and things like that. And these are obviously very important, but the top thing is, if one of you's dirty, it's not going to last.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Is this about personal hygiene or is it about keeping the house clean and tidy?
It's about keeping the house clean and tidy and having an orderly home.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Does that bother you?
I mean, well, it bothers my boyfriend that I'm not clean and tidy.
Oh, you the dirty?
Yes,
I'll tell you what,
yes. I tore out of here this...
I'm kind of on the same path there. My husband has, and I'm saying this on radio, he probably doesn't have OCDs, but I'm saying he does. He's very orderly, everything's like that. And I feel then that this survey means that I'm giving back to him, because what I'm doing is improving our relationship by leaving dirty clothes on the floor, dishes in the sink, and being a slob. I'm being a brilliant partner.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding that I'm doing the right thing as well then.
Yes.
He likes tidying up.
Yes, he loves it.
He loves tidying up.
In fact, there's nothing better he likes to do. He breaks out in a sweat if there isn't a cup
What
to
does he
clean.
do? Have you ever tidied the house?
Have I ever tidied the house?
Yeah.
I beg your pardon. How very dare you?
Has he ever come home to a tidy home?
Of course he has.
And did he freak
cooked
out?
Dinner. No. He stayed quiet for a bit and then told me never to do it again, which I've stuck to. and I'll tell you what, and I've stuck with this because last year I was polishing down a table with a Dettol wipe, may I add, got a splinter in my finger,
posh.
and I know, get me, and how upper class I've become.
Well, you
and I ended up in a
favour.
hospital for 5 days, 2 operations. From that day on, I said to him, do not. I will never take this love away from you again. You can clean until you fall over, my friend.
Just, again, I want to check I heard that right.
Yes.
You tidied up once and were hospitalised.
I was hospitalised. I had 2 operations, and I'm not, to be honest with you, Dan, I'm never putting myself through it again.
You shouldn't have to.
The survey company YouGov asked British women and men what traits would bother them the most in a partner, and it turns out if one of you is a clean freak, the other one just can't be a dirty minger. It just comes down to that, doesn't it? Eve Myles with you this Sunday morning on BBC Radio Wales. Now, just sit back, put your feet up and enjoy this next bit. It's time for some live music with a wonderful, beautiful Ela Hughes. Ela performed the music for Un Bore Merche, the Welsh language version of Keeping Faith, and I'm absolutely honoured that she's with me today on my first programme, and she's going to sing something very special for all of us. Cant Faith.
Rhoies I bopeth ti angen, ti brif o fi'n gweidi, hanner thi gyd, rhoies I ti. Fi'n caru yn gyflawn, ond ti'n gadael o colli. Nothing o beth I gyd, fynd gyda ti. Ond oes sy'n halon I gyd I ti. Oes sy'n halon, ac bod yn torri, mae'n dal I giro. Ar oes sy'n nenaid I gyd, oes sy'n hir, mod yn torri, dal I anadlu. Na I gysgu trwy'r amser, holl amser addagaist, ond cariad, dwi'n gwybod y gwir. Ar oes sy'n halon I gyd I ti, oes sy'n halon, fel bod yn torri, mae'n dal I giro. Ar oes sy'n nenaid I gyd, oes sy'n hir, bod yn torri, dal I anadlu.
Oh, get in there, my girl! Get in there! Okay, sorry, I had to just stop there and take that in. That's, every time I hear that, Ella, that gets me in the feels. We'll have another live song from Ela Hughes a little bit later with a nice chat when I've pulled myself together and wiped my tears off my cheeks. And come on, let's have a bit of Johnny Cash. Right, I've just got myself back together. This is Eve Myles with you this Sunday morning on BBC Radio Wales. Lovely Italian food on the way after the news at 10. Well, before that, don't feel bad if you can't remember where you've put something. Being forgetful isn't stupid, apparently. I don't know about this. My husband would disagree with this. Okay, Dan, tell us a bit more, please.
Well, this is a new study that says that it being forgetful isn't stupid. It helps you, in fact, make smarter decisions. This is in a new paper in the journal Neuron, which I
Great
just bought
bedtime reading.
Yeah, I get it for the recipes. That says, in fact, the purpose of our memory is not, in fact, to remember facts, but to help make intelligent decisions by retaining only valuable information. So the brain isn't malfunctioning when it forgets something. It may have been actively trying to ditch the memory so it can focus on something more important or create a picture that's easier to understand. So all us forgetful people, which I definitely am one, you're welcome.
Well, this is really convenient for me, actually, because I am an incredibly forgetful person. And this actually works in many situations. So if you forget your boyfriend's birthday, it's like, oh, well, it's okay because I'm actually very clever. I'm just a bit, I'm just a bit forgetful. Or if you miss a deadline in work, it's like, well, you could have hired someone who remembered the deadline, but I'm actually more intelligent than them.
But I'm super smart.
Yeah.
How are you, Eve, with memory?
Well, after my children, it went downhill. Not just my memory. Not just my memory. Everything. No, after the kids, it did have an effect on me, and I started to become one of those people who, like my mum, I used to write a lot of lists. I swore that I would never become that person, and then I forget the lists.
But your job is remembering lists.
Yes, it is. But that's a different kind of mindset, and of course I am very super smart in that area.
What's the trick to remembering lines? Because I'm rubbish.
Learn them.
How do you do it? Just copy it, repeat them, or?
It depends. There's certain ways of doing them. I mean, with Un Bore Merche, it's I had to do it in Welsh. I don't speak Welsh, so that was a completely yeah. It was a completely different thing to try and conquer. So I have to sit there and blood, sweat, and tears.
I didn't know you didn't speak Welsh. So you've got to learn your Welsh lines like a parrot.
Well, I wouldn't say a parrot. I'd go for something a little bit more kind of vivacious, like a flamingo, maybe. I sat there like a lovely pink, leggy flamingo, learning my Welsh.
That is something they're going to start doing at RADA now. the flamingo method.
At the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama. What did Eve Myles bring to the college? She brought the flamingo effect.
We're all doing it, so everyone up on one leg.
Some people stick things up around the house, don't they? So they see them like
little post-it notes. Yeah,
or maybe like on the ceiling, the last thing you see before you go to sleep.
I think if you're starting to do that, it's time to go for help. But if it helps, whatever helps, I say. Do you know what I mean? I've started putting things on the back of my kids' back. Stick notes, just going like, remember to take them to school, remember to dress them, that kind of thing. That helps. So if there's any listeners out there that need that, that'll help. Okay, guys, so basically the journal Neuron has researched the subject and concluded that forgetting stuff is actually a sign of being rather bright. Brilliant. Okay, so coming up before 11, more strange news stories, another live song from the beautiful Ela Hughes, and some Italian home cooking on Mother's Day with Michela Chiapa. Upside Down with Diana Ross next. Enjoy, guys.
And there'll be more from Eve after the news, the travel, but first the weather forecast. Early patches of fog and low cloud will...
With Eve Myles on BBC Radio Wales.
Yes, it's definitely me, Eve Myles. Thank you for joining me. It's lovely to have your company, and a happy Mother's Day. We've still got Dan Thomas and Samantha Ellis in the studio with us, and we've got some more live music from Ela Hughes coming up, so stay tuned. Wake up. And that was Maggie May there by Rod Stewart. One of my favourites, actually. I've got a lovely, lovely memory of that song, going back to the first ever series of Belonging, my first big job. And I'm still in college at the time. And it was a scene with the brilliance that is Will Thomas and Gwen Taylor. And Gwen Taylor played a character, Maggie, my mum. And that song came on and everybody danced around the kitchen. So that's a lovely, lovely memory. And on to another important series that's filling my life at the moment, Keeping Faith. I have the beautiful Ela Hughes here, who is going to sing live once more for us. So sit back once again, all you mums out there, put your feet up and listen to the beauty that is Ela Hughes. Take it away, sweetheart.
Yn yr hun hym amglychiad a chwydd, ceisio wneud rhyw synwyr o'r holl boen. Dyma fi'n mynd nawr, mynd rownd a rownd mewn ffair diri, dal ymlaen am fywyd unwaith to. Dylen ni fo'n gwybod nawr, yn wir, eraill a nhw droi rhyw fath, dal tir. Hennaint i'r ddawyr galon nawr, stym torri gal. Cadw I gyr y maint o beth. Hennaint i'r ddawyr galon nawr, stym pleisio I gal. A phob tro ti'n gadael fynd. Dyma fi, dyma fi, dyma fi, nawr to. Dyma fi, dyma fi, dyma fi, nawr to. A syrthiais am y goledel, siwmai yn rhwyddach na ffarwel, ond nawr rwy'n yma'n unig gyda'r bai. Ceisiais bo'r un peth a ti, wrth it lefen llefais I, ond nawr dim mwy o gario ar y baich. Dylen ni mwyn gwybod nawr, yn wir, eraill a nhw drwy rhyw fath, dal tir. Hennaint i'r ddawyr galon nawr, stym torri gal. Cadw I gyr y maint a beth. Hennaint i'r ddawyr galon nawr, stym pleisio I gal. A phob tro ti'n gadael fynd. Dyma fi, dyma fi, dyma fi, nawr to. Dyma fi rwy'n gwybod sydd gyda fi ar ôl. Dyma fi rwy'n hyn y fywyd unwaith to. Fy'n y heddi, fy'n y ddwy, pwy awyr. Dyma fi mynd to, dyma fi mynd to, dyma fi mynd to. Hennaint i'r ddawyr galon nawr, stym torri gal. Cadw I gyr o maint a beth. Hennaint i'r ddawyr galon nawr, stym pleisio I gal. A phob tro ti'n gadael fynd. Dyma fi, dyma fi, dyma fi, nawr to. Dyma fi, dyma fi, dyma fi, nawr to.
Oh, come on. Come on, everyone.
Thank you.
Ella, I have all these questions to ask you. I just don't care about them, to be honest with you. I'm just not going to ask them. I just need you to know how humbled I am that you've come in here today and shared that with me and the listener, because it's filled my heart with joy.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. I'm just... Can I be your roadie? Can I just...
Let's do it.
Can I just come
I'm
around
ready.
with you, all your gigs? I will make tea. Apparently I cook a great salad.
Amazing.
I mean, I can do it. Ella, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you a little bit about your background now and,
Yeah.
and things, you know, that people want to know about you, because you're doing so incredibly well. So just tell me and Dan and Sam a little bit about your background in music.
So, where to begin really? Was raised in the beautiful West Wales, surrounded by beautiful music all the time. I have my mum and dad to thank a lot for the music that they shared with me, and picked up the cello, the piano and the trumpet.
What, like actually pick them up? You're a strong girl.
I'm very strong. I'm Welsh rugby player thighs, Eve, you know.
Oh, I do. Only too well.
Played them all, and then kind of decided that the voice is the instrument that I wanted to go with, and was lucky enough to do my grade 8 singing when I was 16.
Wow.
So yeah, lots of hard work, lots of practice before school, after school. Yeah.
And then what happened? Why did it carry on, or did you just...
I think because I worked so hard, I just wanted a break, and, you know, A-levels came about and went to uni, and, you know, I kind of stopped, and then I heard the songs by Amy Wadge, the Keeping Faith songs, and was honestly blown away. I was mesmerised, and I just thought, I have to sing again. So I have her to thank for that. So thank you, Amy.
Oh, yeah, we all have Amy to thank for the wonderful words in that song.
Yeah.
So Amy was a big inspiration for you to start
massive.
singing again. Was it a confidence thing? You just thought that's something that those words connected with you, and you thought, well,
yeah,
I can do this.
I think the words are so relatable, much like Keeping Faith is to everyone. I just...
And do
there's
you
something there.
have clips of Keeping Faith in front of you when you're singing it, or do you sing it dry? What?
So when I'm in the studio with Lawrence Lovegreed, the producer, who's also
Genius.
incredible.
Yes.
We have the visuals on screen, so I'm always singing, looking at you, Eve, looking at your wonderful, beautiful face.
That can't be much help.
No,
it
it's
really
great.
can.
No, it is, because, you know, I have to internalise everything you're thinking and, you know, say it through those words. And I'm not just singing the tracks, I'm also doing all the instrumental, all the oohs and ahs.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking at you, I'm looking at the beautiful landscape of Wales, and I think that's really helped me.
Well, it's really helped us, and throughout the process of filming, I would always have you in my ear singing the songs for the Welsh version, and for the English version, I had Amy singing for certain really tough scenes. I would just listen to Faith's song or Pain or those songs, and they would help me get through a certain scene. But I've told Amy several times, but I don't think I've ever had the chance to tell you that your voice and what you've put onto this series for me is the soul, is the heartbeat of Keeping Faith, and it's a huge part of it for me. So I'm so grateful. And
That's a huge honour.
And I have to take this opportunity to say it, and I'm saying it loud and clear to the whole of Wales, how grateful I am to you and to Amy for this.
I'm honoured, thank you.
So also, the great news is the EP.
Oh my gosh, I mean, incredible.
Oh, tell us all about it. Tell everybody.
I can't believe it. Well, as I said earlier, I was in Amsterdam.
She keeps throwing this in, doesn't she? She wouldn't be saying the same thing if she was in Abba, you know what I mean? I was in Abba, ice skating.
Well, it was just bizarre. There were people ice skating, and then, you know, my phone was just popping off. Twitter just was going crazy. And yeah, I can't believe it. I just, you know, Keeping Faith is an Amazon bestsellers, #3 at the minute. It's incredible. I mean,
Wait, so you found out that it's in Amsterdam?
So I found out in Amsterdam.
Where were you? You were in Amsterdam.
Was I? We were in a cafe having a beer, and then I found out that I was 88. The Un Bore Mercher. I don't know if there's ever been a Welsh EP, a fully Welsh album
there is
that's
now.
made it into the
That's incredible.
top charts. But yeah,
Just fantastic.
I was buzzing.
What did you do? Tell me the truth. Keep it clean. It's
drank.
Sunday morning.
Didn't drink. I went ice skating.
Naked ice skating.
Yeah, it was amazing feeling. I can't wait to see where it takes me.
Yeah.
So excited.
Now, come on. Is there going to be any sort of gigs, anything like that? I mean, Dan is a stand-up here, so if you need any kind of...
I have not broken the top 100. Well done, you.
Well, let's
Would
do
you
it.
like
Let's
to do
talk.
something like that?
I would love to. I'd absolutely love to. It would be the dream to travel and sing at the same time, definitely. Also, I think my #1 dream would be to sing the Welsh National Anthem at the Six Nations.
I'm going to get this done. I don't
Let's
know
do
how,
it.
but I'm going to get it done.
Let's try. And, you know, I'd love to work with Amy more, maybe write a song with her.
Yeah.
And there's just the amount of talent in young women that's out there at the minute, you know. The likes of Georgia Smith, Mahalia, Mabel, these incredible artists. love to collaborate with them. Also, Stormzy, if you're listening, I'm available.
Stormzy is listening. He phoned me this morning to let me know that he's ardently listening and that he's a huge fan of yours, and he should be very lucky to have you on board. That's all I'm saying. Ella, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, and I wish you all the luck in the career, with your career and everything that you want to do.
Thank you.
You're going to be a huge success. Just keep doing what you're doing. That's all you need to do.
Myles on BBC Radio Wales.
Wow, hang on just a second. I'm just taking off my feather boa. Yes. Shirley Bassey there, Diamonds Are Forever. You like that, Dan? You like that? I'm glad you kept yours on and the heels. You look fabulous, by the way. You gave old Bassey a run for her money. OK, so I'm still here with Dan and Samantha, and we've got Michela Chiapa coming up with some Italian food chat. So stay with us.
BBC Radio Wales is exploring Wales
with our ears.
So we've arrived down by the seals. This is the sound of Wales that I had never imagined existed.
Step into an amazing 3D sound world with sound artist Hugh Huddy as he discovers the sounds of Wales.
The rattle of the cage gate is the same in every colliery in South Wales.
Hymns and arias in our stadium is special, isn't it?
So these sounds, they're ringing out all over Snowdonia, aren't they?
Yes. For the full immersive 3D audio experience, put your headphones on, sit back and enjoy.
Sounds of Wales.
Available now on the BBC iPlayer radio app and on the BBC Radio Wales website.
And now it's Mother's Day and Wales are playing Italy, so we thought we'd put the two together. And who better to make that happen than Welsh-Italian cook Michela Chiapa. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in.
That's all right.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
How many children do you have?
I have 2, a 4 and a 2-year-old.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You getting much sleep?
It depends. It depends on the mood, and you know, sometimes they sleep all night, but they don't go to bed till 9, and then other nights they go to bed early, and
Oh well, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Have a lovely, lovely day. So, what have you brought in?
So I have brought in, technically, my nonna used to make these when we were kids, and technically it's like the Italian equivalent of pancakes. So before Lent, so they're kind of like a sweet biscuit that's deep fried, covered in ice and sugar.
Oh, it's got my name written all over it.
And but the great thing about these biscuits is, as you can see, so kids can do them. So I tend to make the dough with the kids. It is super simple.
Yeah.
And then you make them into shapes. So we had like all the Play-Doh cutters out, so you can make stars. They can write their make letters out of them. But my nonna used to basically just not tie them in a knot and cut them with a jagged cutter, so they look really pretty. And they keep for like 2-3 weeks in a tin. Yeah, they're deep fried. But they're always a sweet treat we had around Easter time, this time of year. And she used to like make massive batches of it, and then they'd always be there in her kitchen. So have a try.
Really nice gifts as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I have one?
Yeah, help yourself.
Thank you very much.
Amazing.
Pass
Thank
around.
you very
Attention.
much. Pass this round.
Oh my God, they're gorgeous.
They're kind of, they're not too sweet either.
No,
that's the other thing.
Absolutely lovely.
Yeah, but the kids have literally spread it out on the table, and it's like an edible version of Play-Doh, which is good because my kids tend to eat Play-Doh as well.
Well, I actually was watching something on YouTube, watching you do your simple pasta last night, and I'm going to do that with my girls this weekend, because it does look so simple. It's so much fun, and that does become, like, as you say, Play-Doh at the end of it.
It's exactly that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the easiest to get it like amazingly smooth like you would eat in Italy, but the bottom line is it's flour and eggs. You can't get simpler with the ingredients.
And it's nice to do together.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how we were brought up. And my big thing is just get kids cooking. You know, what would be my ideal Mother's Day?
Yeah.
To have my children. They're a little bit little yet, but cook for me, because I'm sorry, as a mum.
I know, that's all we do.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner. By the time we've cleared away breakfast, it's all right.
What do we
do
have for lunch? I know.
And by the time you've cooked and cleaned and cleared away, you're on to evening meal. So
look at me pretending I know what you're talking about. I don't cook. My husband does all the cooking. He says to me, "Oh, you cook a nice salad." Can you? I mean, it's cheeky, isn't it? It's cheeky.
No, that salad, that's good. because the kids can help straight away on that one. There's no excuse.
That is
Chuck
good.
stuff in a bowl, get going, kids.
But that's food,
Well,
that's, it doesn't really matter, does it?
I'm going to take you home and you can tell him that. Now, is Mother's Day a big thing in Italy?
I don't really know, because I've always lived in Wales. I think for me, the thing, it's all about family in Italy. So, no, they do Festa delle Mamme and all of that. So, yeah, I mean, I think in Italy, it's any excuse to get the family together, and which is, I do think, is quite a Welsh thing as well. I think that's why we've always felt so at home in Wales. It's the community. And, it might not be, it might not have a 2.4 children, family, but it's your community. It's who's your family, and just get together. And for us, it's all about eating, drinking, and being together. And any excuse for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I've got 2 daughters.
Yes.
And my daughters are 8 and 4. Now, what would be the perfect age to start them in the kitchen? Do you say it straight away? Or?
Oh, my God, absolutely. I mean, that is... So... The first book I wrote was much more about weaning, about how to get your kids by 1 eating your family meals. But I'm really passionate now about basics, started on my YouTube channel and recipes, showing parents how you can get your kids to cook. And from any age, because my 2-year-old can make a pesto with me. It's, she sits her on the bench and she picks the leaves and chucks them in. And then I give her a bowl of the nuts and I say, right, grab a handful. Because something like a pesto you can make with hundreds of different ingredients. And it doesn't really matter if they put a slosh too much of cheese or... And... So I personally think from 2 upwards, kids should be in the kitchen and, make a pizza with them and, get them to roll it out.
And it's a good way to get them into health eating as well.
Absolutely. And it's not just... It's about them understanding food. So, like, my kids know the difference between rosemary and basil. It's not because I've sat them down and given them a lesson on it. It's just because they're in the kitchen and... find me a kid that doesn't get curious about sniffing something or putting something in their mouth. Like I said, they eat Play-Doh, so...
Yeah, it's a bit like me.
Yeah, well...
But can you eat Play-Doh?
I think this is where I went wrong. I didn't start early. Didn't start early enough. So now maybe there's no hope for me. This is why I can't cook
No,
now.
there's always
no, don't
hope.
say that.
There is always hope. Honestly, I have to say, I burn things all the time in the kitchen, mainly because I try and do too many things and I get distracted. And I think... The joy of Italian cooking is it can be as simple as putting a salad together. That is cooking. Like, at the end of the day, you can get a salad wrong by drowning it in dressing or not putting dressing.
Absolutely.
And I just think the sooner you get kids in the kitchen, just not forcing them to eat these things. That's the best way, see. Get them playing with it.
That's the thing, isn't it? Don't force them to do something because they'll always rebel against it.
And just let them enjoy. I mean... I think you'd be hard-pushed to find a kid that doesn't want to get messy in the kitchen. Yeah. Now, it might require a bit of clean-up after it, but the worst you're going to get, is a bit of flour, a bit of rice, and you just get
that's what a kitchen is for.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I get my husband out.
Yeah, or dog to eat it up.
Okay, we're going to have more from Michela later. Now we've got a lovely track for you. It's Nancy Sinatra. There we are, a little bit of Nancy Sinatra there. So, Michela, I'm back with you. So we have Wales, Italy. This afternoon.
Yes.
Are you a rugby fan?
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can't not be a rugby fan.
I don't know. We might be sitting amongst one here.
I'm still Welsh. I just don't like rugby.
I don't believe you're Welsh. I just don't believe it. Dan, you like rugby?
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think, I don't know. I've been to the stadium a few times and I can't not get emotional, when you're sat there and the singing starts. And I went to uni in Cardiff and I grew up in Wales, and I just, look, through and through, I love Italy. And my sister says, you're just a glory seeker. Football, you go with Italy, and rugby, you go with Wales. And it's like, no, it's not that. It's just, I've been there. I was doing my degree when Wales won the Grand Slam for the first time, and it's just... How can you not just, oh my gosh, it just stirs up your emotions. And before I know, I'm like bursting out with like either song or tears. And it is, the stadium's electric. And the Cardiff City when they're playing, I just think it's amazing.
Have you taken the kids there yet?
I am. Not to a stadium game.
It becomes, as you say, it's a very emotional thing. But when we took Matilda to Wales Island, And it was just one of the most wonderful experiences because, I mean, not for her daddy, because every time Lee Halfpenny was near her, she kept shouting, I love you, Lee Halfpenny, I love you. And he kept saying, leave him, he's taking a kick, he's taking a kick. But it's a lovely thing for all the family to do again, isn't it, to go and support.
That's what I've always loved about rugby, is the family aspect of it. It's just fab.
Yes. So how about setting up a massive like trestle table in the middle of the Principality?
Oh, yeah.
You making a massive feast for everybody and a big rugby match. That's my idea of heaven.
Gosh, absolutely.
Yeah. We'll put MTV on or something on for you.
Yeah, thanks. Commercial break.
So who are you going to be supporting, can I ask?
Well, I think, as I said, whether it's my sister saying I'm a glory seeker or not, I can't not support Wales, but I think, there is an element of me like, come on, Italy, come on, you can do it.
So you don't mind, really?
I mean, obviously...
The ideal situation is Wales wins, but by, only a point.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to see Italy, maybe beating them for a bit, because I think, they have been... bless them, at the bottom of the leaderboard for many, many years. And it's just nice seeing them grow. And they're really passionate about it in Italy. I mean, I'd love to go and watch a Wales-Italy game in Rome, for example. I think that would be amazing.
The atmosphere would be incredible.
Yeah, but I think, I'd love them to beat them for a bit just to feel like that boost. But I think Wales have got to win. Come on.
I think we just want a really good game. Yeah. And hopefully there'll be a massive punch-up. That'll be a great day.
Come on, Sam, that'll get you in the rugby, won't it?
Yeah, I'd actually like having a fight in Caroline Street. That's like part of a Cardiff night out,
if you carry on wearing your unicorn onesie, I'm sure I can arrange that for you in Ship Alley. That's not a problem. I'll meet you around 11:30 over a chicken curry off the bone and chips, and we'll have a little bit of a barney. Okay then, so would you like to... I don't know, request a little track for Mother's Day? Anything that you would like?
Yeah, well, I love a sing-song, anything cheesy where I can just either sing in the shower or in the kitchen.
Yes.
And one of my favourites is Don't Stop Believing by, is it Journey?
Yeah, well, we'll go with that, but I just want to say thank you very much from all of us here in the studio.
It's been lovely to
come. And for your lovely biscuits, they're gorgeous.
Thank
round of
you.
applause.
Thank you very much.
Please come to my house and cook.
Of course.
Doing your bit in a sponsored run. 7,136 steps. Organising an impromptu conga round the office. 116 steps. Even making a cup of tea. 7 steps. And every step counts in the nation's Billion Steps Challenge. Get the Sport Relief app, get stepping, and start raising money today. Find out more at bbc.co.uk/sportrelief.
Eve Myles with you this Sunday morning on BBC Radio Wales. Thanks for listening. Now, imagine you're staying at a swanky hotel and it's time to leave. You want to put something of those free little goodies in your suitcase, but should you? Now, I'm keeping zipped on this because I could get into a lot of trouble. So, Sam, I'm handing it over to you.
Well, this is a moral conundrum, according to this etiquette expert, which, by the way, isn't a job at all. Then again, neither is internet personality, so I better be quiet. So apparently stealing from hotels isn't okay, which I didn't know about. So, I mean, sorry to all the hotels who are listening that I've stayed in. But, I mean, hotels offer complimentary items like toiletries and tea and coffee and robes. And apparently you're not allowed to take these home with you.
Nonsense.
But there's different levels to this, isn't there? I mean, it's not stealing because you've rented the room and the space.
I think it's called gaining.
So, I mean, and we were talking about it earlier, that if the thing is going to be replaced anyway, surely it's okay to take it.
Yes.
The key word was you're renting the room. You haven't bought your hotel room. And the stuff...
Depends who you are.
Well, some of us are doing better than others.
That shampoo is
I want
mine.
this I'm keeping it.
I paid overpriced hotel rates, and you're telling me I'm not allowed to take the shampoo home.
What does this
for
bloke
my own
in
use?
this article say that you're allowed to take?
Yeah, so apparently you're allowed to take the toiletries if they're half used.
The waiter.
Yeah, but apparently you're not allowed to
The
walk...
waiter? Oh my...
Up to him. It's up to him.
It is, yeah.
If he's, if he's
partial to being taken.
I don't think I've ever stayed in a hotel that had a waiter before.
I'll give you my number.
I have been known as well to walk past, the maid's cart and take a couple of extra items from there.
Okay.
The maid, not the maid herself, but the extra bottles. Apparently that's not okay either. So I don't know exactly what is okay by this etiquette expert, to be honest.
Well, can I just suggest maybe it's not having a basement of hotel employees that apparently you two have?
Yes. I believe if you're in a room and you've paid for it, you're entitled to all of it. And that includes, if you can get that bed out, get it out, okay? Well, this has been my first show, and Dan and Sam, thank you so much for being with me. That's all we have time for. Thank you to my guests. I've already done that, but I'm going to do it again. Samantha Ellis, Dan Thomas, beautiful Ela Hughes, and Michela Chiapa. This has been a 16 media production for BBC Radio Wales. Owen, Anna, Larry are on next, so please stay tuned. I might be back next week if they invite me back.
Search the room beforehand.
Search the room. I may be back 9:30 next Sunday morning with BBC Radio Wales. And I just want to say thank you very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed. The music's been lovely, and you have a lovely, lovely rest of Mother's Day. And I'm going to address you like I would address my friends when I sign off on the phone. Ta-da! Love you!
Everything is wonderful. Being here is